How do I wanna do it like kind of like slow and easy to make sure that everybody can kind of like follow. If I have to explain anything, then I must explain. So this is the letter to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, regardless of who they may be. At the moment it is Andrew Holness, but if it changes, it's still the same message. It's called Economic Emancipation from Mental Slavery. Letter to Jamaica's Prime Minister by founder of Cool Mom Records, Jimmy Anderson. And it goes like this. Dear Prime Minister, my name is Jimmy Anderson. I'm a socio-economic strategist and I am sure that I can fix any economy in the world. I am self-taught, inspired and led by the Most High, and I specialize in translating the Rastafarian ethos into a tactical and pragmatic program that can engage all of humanity in progress towards a better world. I'm a Danish citizen with Zambian, Malawian, Swazi, South African, and Nigerian roots. I've lived in Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya, Malawi, Denmark, England, and Spain. I have visited the USA, South Africa, Ethiopia, Senegal, Sweden, Belgium, and Germany. I speak English, Swahili, Danish, Nyanja, and Spanish. I plan to learn Arabic, French, and Chinese. I don't know why I included that, but anyway, I do plan. It's been a long plan coming, it still hasn't happened yet. I'm a musician specializing in the guitar and I try to incorporate all styles into my playing. I'm a songwriter and have built up a significant catalog of songs, mainly in the commercial reggae styles of the great Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. Prime Minister, it is with the whole world's destiny on my mind that I address this letter to you, and it is with great effort that I avoid being sidetracked by numerous captivating and profound attributes of Jamaica and Jamaicans. The history and continuous impact of the island on the world is very intriguing. I know that you're busy and that the pressure to deliver is on. I assume that policies intended to counteract the impression that only the needs of the rich and foreigners are met do take time to get through, catch on, and yield the desired objectives. My assumption is based on a clear understanding of the mechanisms at work. I can only hope that the framework you're making use of is sound enough to meet your own and the people's expectations, meaning the people of Jamaica, right? My hope is sincere because the situation is not isolated. It is a general global situation, as are my concerns. Perhaps at this particular point it is behoved of me to point out a few Jamaican attributes just to explain why my focus is on your country, when the majority of countries do warrant the same attention. The very same issues are equally as pressing in Denmark, Malawi, South Africa, and the USA. Okay. Jamaica's history is not unlike the history of other countries in the Caribbean and indeed the world. However, for some reason, unknown to us all, it stands out as the chosen exponent, the voice of the underprivileged good people of the world, a spokes country, so to speak. As you have stated yourself, Jamaica's geographical position gives it the strategic significance. As you have stated yourself, Jamaica's geographical position gives it that strategic significance. However, such is the case with an overwhelming number of countries. Still, one thing that can't be taken away from Jamaica is the character, natural talent, and ability of those individuals who have been blessed to share the international stage of fame. A Jamaican was responsible for the liberation of Africans from colonial rule. It was a Jamaican situation that led to the first LP to ever sell 1 million copies. Calypso, as the album was titled, is an iconic piece of work and was at that time pivotal in establishing Jamaica's international image. Today, it sets the tone for the case I'm about to make. Again, I must resist the many temptations to digress. I must contain my excitement because as I write, my passions rise. The importance of Calypso was not lost on the producers of Dr. No, the first James Bond film. Again, I struggle to avoid digressing. In fact, I struggle so hard that I now suspect that perhaps Jamaica's predicaments come from the sheer volume of its blessings in such profound variations and compelling authenticity that it is impossible to keep a clear head. I truly suspect now that the out of many we are one is a hopeful prayer for the future more than an affirmation of the present. Under such a stark reality of influences, I can only imagine what a task policymaking must be. I hope this guy doesn't come and disturb me like he does. However, we are at the core of the purpose of this letter. Both Calypso and Dr. No are iconic pieces of art, which have contributed to and made use of the brand Jamaica. They set the trajectory towards the billion-dollar status of reggae music. Reggae has come a long way and resisted so much suppression. Today, reggae generates $3 billion more than Jamaica's total GDP per year. These numbers, just like Jamaica's God-given geographic position and other blessings, should inform every thinking mind that when assessing Jamaica's wealth, dimensions beyond Bretton Woods institutions must be given due consideration. This is crucial because if constraints in the form of loans that must be serviced threaten to break the camel's back of a people promised much by generations of prime ministers, then would it not make sense to make use of such available revenue? The fact is that if every Jamaican was awarded $1 million, that's US, as recompense for collectively adding value to reggae as a genre, there would be $14 billion left over every year. In good faith, my personal conclusion is that this very line of thought may be behind reggae music's UNESCO heritage status. And so in good faith, I commend your administration for that achievement. In that same spirit, I trust that your administration is making amends for the benefit of Jamaican reggae artists. In particular, shall we say that again? In that same spirit, I trust that your administration is making amends for the benefit of Jamaican reggae artists in particular and the Jamaican people as a whole. As one of the global reggae fans and supporters, I am a living example of the living revenue that reggae yields across the world. Bauxite, coffee, bananas, sugar, etc. all fit into the Bretton Woods paradigms. But this, the living intellect, human determination, courage, vision, faith, motivation, self-discipline, and much more, duplicated millions of times over across race, status, and religion, is the fruit of reggae music. We are the living revenue. We are more than money. When you talk to me, I talk back. I can't be put in a bank in order to gather interest. I can't be devalued to meet fiscal measures. This revenue is emancipated from mental slavery. Again, I must restrain myself from digressing. And again, I must assert commitment to mutual good faith. The recent address to yourself by Queen Ifrica at Rebel Salute 2019 suggests that you mean well. It was reminiscent of Peter Tosh and Bob Marley's efforts at the Peace Concert in 1978. Which is a sad thing, really. Imagine that what was said back then still hasn't yielded what the masses of poor people need. Therefore, what I bring is the necessary third dimension designed to resolve the tensions within any polarized economic situation. After all, I am the living reggae revenue. I am the value and interest added to the original expressions and exports. My promise as a youth was to help Nesta sing songs of freedom. So, with those very same people whom he was concerned about, right at the center of my heart, I offer your administration what I see as helpful tools to help implement platforms for public participation in the economic empowerment that I have heard you speak about. If we can do this, then Jamaica would have a brand new export. That export would be socio-economic solutions. And through Jamaica, once again, progress, liberation, prosperity, and unity will come to Africa, Black America, the UK, and the rest of the world. Yeah, that's the letter to the Prime Minister. And that's the way it rests. And like I said, it doesn't matter who's the Prime Minister, the message remains the same. But this is to Andrew Holness. Because this was written in 2019, 2018, or was it 2020? And reading it now during COVID times is kind of like, okay, imagine. It's become even more poignant. Jah truly works. Jah is wonderful. The Father is wonderful, man. The Father is just wonderful. As simple as that. Rastafari, seen?